Hi guys, it's Elise here and I'm with Jimmy at Ignite Sports Nutrition and we're going to go through some of the top points that we want you to look at when reviewing your Evolt scan that you've had. So Jimmy, do you want to walk me through some of the top points that we need to look at when you're looking at your scan?
Yep, sure. So first thing I generally look at is the bio age compared to your actual age. So that's generally the first really good way to look at how you're going without really delving too deep into it. So you check at your bio age, 27 and Elisa's 28. So anything at or below your real age is really good to start off on. So then I'll look at body fat percentage. So Elisa's at 25.4, so which is right in the middle of the optimal range. Yep. So that's really, really good as well. After that, I look into the soft lean muscle mass.
And that's just below, that's on the body composition bar graph.
Just sort of in about 4 down.
Yep.
And then, so Elisa's at 45.5 kilos of soft lean muscle mass, which is actually higher than what the average person for her height, age, weight, gender, etc. is for. So she's at 109%.
So having higher than the optimum, if it's in the soft lean mass, that's okay.
Yeah, so with soft lean muscle mass, you want to have basically as much as possible and the least amount of body fat as possible.
Yeah. So that's going to raise your metabolic rate. Yeah.
So you always want to have as much muscle mass as possible. You can't really have too much muscle mass. Obviously there's a point, but realistically you can't.
Yeah.
After your soft lean muscle mass, you always look at your visceral fat.
Yeah.
So your visceral fat is the stuff that's in between your organs, underneath your ab muscles. So that's the stuff that's really, really bad for you and it gives you cancer, basically. So Elisa's got a low fat level, but if you look at the number 2 down on the visceral fat table, it's actually got the surface area.
So what's that one?
So Elisa's at 33, so that's 33 centimeters squared of visceral fat she's got underneath her abdominal muscles.
So that's like a ruler and then a ruler, so square that. Yeah. Okay, so that's the surface area that's in and around, wrapped around my organs.
Yep. So it's only very, very thin, but if you were to lay it out completely on the floor, that's how big it would be.
And it would be about?
Yeah, about 1 to 2 millimeters
high.
thick.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that gives me an indication of, you know, what I got to work on, I guess, if I want to eliminate that.
So the lower the better for that. So basically, if you're in the balanced to borderline range, it's not too much of an issue. It's only when you're in that sort of visceral 1, visceral 2 range, which is your higher range, which is actually very, very, very dangerous.
Yeah. And you can't really get that down without diet.
No, it's basically about 95% diet. A little bit of exercise will increase your metabolic output, but realistically it's only diet that does that. Okay. So all your trans fats and things like that is what contributes to that the most.
Okay, cool.
After that, I generally look at something like your minerals. So this is just at the top here in the minerals. Mm-hmm. So I always look at minerals. It's just a snapshot of how hydrated you are at that point in time.
Okay.
So Elisa's at 3.9 and the optimal range would be 3.3 to 3.6. So she's
on the
sort
high
of overhydrated, which isn't really too much of an issue. You can't really be too overhydrated because your body will regulate its own system. And and you
kind of get rid of that extra water.
So she might have just drank a bottle of water or something like that.
Okay,
so
lovely.
Nothing like that. It's only when it's lower, it's like, let's try and get some water out.
You need to get that up, okay.
And generally after that, you might look at something like your segmented lean muscle mass and your segmented body fat. So
that's where I store my muscle mass.
Yep.
And it gives me a range of where it wants me to sit. It's saying that I'm slightly under for optimal range for my upper body muscle mass. So I probably could put a little bit more muscle in my upper body. I'm optimal for the rest. Segmental body fat, it's saying that I'm optimal, but I'm a little bit higher in my torso, which is probably right because the majority of my actual fat I do store around my waist.
A lot of people do. A lot of the torso body fat is completely hormonal, so you can't really...
That's the estrogen.
Yeah, that's estrogen, basically, So guys will hold it in their lower backs and their upper thighs, whereas women are sort of at the front, because that's where all their estrogen basically, and it's more of a protective layer as well. So when you do put on body fat, your body's going to put it where it wants it because fat is protection.
Yeah, and you can never spot reduce it. Where it comes off is where it comes off.
Yeah. There's no way you can
Can't
spot
pick and
reduce.
choose.
Yeah. So you can't just do ab crunches and you're not going to lose
Stomach
fat. No chance. No. It's just overall your body loses it where it
Yeah.
wants to lose it.
All right.
Basically, after that, you wouldn't really look at too much else unless you wanted to get really, really in depth with it.
Yep. It does tell you your basal metabolic rate. So that would be how many calories I burn
If you just
at
laid in
rest.
bed. If you were laid in bed all
Complete
day
rest.
and watched TV, that's
Yep.
how many calories you would burn.
Yep, so
1,300.
yep, and total energy expenditure. So that's not training, that's just going through my day-to-day
Yep.
things, going to work, walking around
putting
town.
clothes on, having a shower,
Yep,
doing
so-
that, you burn another 700 calories. So
Yep.
your total energy expenditure is 2,000.
Yep. So recommendations for people to lose weight, you obviously want to be in a calorie deficit, not too big,
Severe. So you're looking
Yeah.
at about
a reduction of about 250.
250 to 300 is very safe, and
Anything exceeding 500 is probably a little too much.
and especially with only dropping your calories by about 200 to 300 a day, you won't really notice it too much. You won't get overly hungry or anything like that because your body won't freak out and go,
Yeah.
I'm not eating enough food.
And it's got to be the right food too, because if you're putting the wrong food into you, then that can play havoc with not only your hormones
Yeah.
but your energy levels. So you'll
Yes.
feel like you want to eat more. So it's really a lot to do with eating consistently good food,
Yes, yeah.
nourishing your body, and in a slight deficit, you'll definitely see results.
Yes, and then you can also, when you're in the slight deficit, your body will burn body fat. There's no way it won't burn body fat. If you're in too much of a deficit, it will burn muscle instead.
Yes, atrophy.
Atrophy, yeah. So,
So-
you'll feel like you're actually like putting on weight if you diet too hard.
Yeah. So be sensible about it. If you do have any questions, you can always contact Jimmy or get in touch with him here at the store in Taree.
Yep.
Or you can contact us at the gym as well at Anytime Fitness Taree.
Yeah, so I'm just at along Pulteney Street, so shop 723 Pulteney Street. I'm here basically Monday to Saturday, so pop in anytime you want between 9:30 and 5:30, and I can help you with any question, no matter how small, big, or if you want me to talk for 45 minutes on nutrition, I can do that for you as well.
Yeah, because you're very good with supplementation too.
Yes,
So
yeah.
if anyone has any questions about any sort of supplements that they should be taking or what kind of food they should be steering towards or steering away from, definitely hit us up.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thank you.